I think I became sure of the title after I read a book titled Iraq. Maybe this is the title in Italian, I don't know what's the title in English, by the philosopher Slavoj Žižek, in which he says a very interesting thing about how to, when he closes the book, he makes a sort of final statement on how you can end this Iraq war. And he says that, quoting Martin Luther, the real love is to find the sublime in the cross of everyday vulgar life. Or how the way it would be said by Alain Badiou, real love is in the way you allow the difference in the other. And because this movie was about a sort of complexity of people struggling to deny their own feelings and to deny the other for different reasons, mostly for capitalistic reasons, I felt that in a way the statement of the two great philosophers was of help for me to make a possible not judgmental title for the film, so that everybody in the movie can say I am love. Somebody succeed in being that, somebody doesn't. I don't proceed with a thesis ever. I just am an artisan or a peasant, and I harvest my ideas as they come in a very simple way, in an extremely direct way. Then after a long time you work on something, you read a book, and then you, okay, I didn't get what I was trying to say. Maybe I didn't get yet what I want to say. So I don't know how to reply to this answer, to this question. We have many producers in this movie, and the most heroic ones are Marco Morabit and Massimiliano Violante, who basically fed the project since the very beginning of the very first page of the story I was writing. They nurtured this project with an incredible, compelling consistency and endurance, and they are responsible for this project being alive. Tilda and I have a very, very bold and strong relationship, and I don't think that she's simply an actress. I think she is a cineast, a filmmaker as a whole. And when it came to us to work together on I Am Love, that we spoke about for a long time, it wasn't just that she was hired to act. Her involvement in the project became so and so organic to it. And her incredible help in making things happen was so key that it was absolutely natural that she was one of the producers in the movie. I tend to have relationships with my producers that are inspiring and compelling, and I try, doesn't succeed, but I try to avoid conflict. I have no problem with authorship, I have no ego problem, no problem with my virility, so I don't know how to answer to this. I think the character it's of the movie, it's neither mine or Tilda's, it's of the movie. I like to make graphics, I love to study how to write a word. Since the time I saw for the first time a Jean-Luc Godard movie, I always been impressed by big bold writings over the screen. That's why I put this writing. The idea was simply to put big bold writing a la Godard, and also to be old-fashioned when they have cards explaining where you are. I like these movies where they say where you are, particularly these very international thrillers that they jump from one place to another. I want to do something like that, but all about writings, just writing. I have no idea. Unless I can tell you that Hitchcock is, I think that cinema can be Hitchcockian or Rossellinian, meaning from Hitchcock or from Roberto Rossellini. I think those two great masters are sort of generative source of making movies. and I like to think that this movie is both. And so somehow this woman, which was and is still mysterious because she's Russian and you never get to understand a Russian woman, and blonde and you never get to understand a blonde woman, she falls into this obsession with this boy, and she has to look for him and chase him, and I don't know, it became like that in a very natural way. When you have two characters following each other, you have to understand how to make the audience understand the geography of the space and the actual movement of the two characters. This is the agenda for the director. And I think that now that we are talking about that, what I can understand is that the Hitchcock lesson, it's so incredible and it's so unique and it's so still the top level of this kind of lesson of filmmaking, that's why it's Hitchcockian, because I try to look unconsciously and consciously at this amazing lesson due to the fact that we had to have a chase sequence. But it's all about geography, I would say. The element of the food, it's about, I think it's about the possibility of giving to someone else something that you actually does, that it's both a present, a gift, and something that nurtures you, and a cultural and sensual and emotional experience in a row. I love food. I love not food, but I love the way you can state something through food and through the process of cooking. And I think that the idea of having her, who can have everything, simply deciding to follow this young man who is a genius cook, that has nothing apart his capacity of nurturing other people and expressing love through his art, that is a simple art. I think it was a pretty nice way of saying that we may survive and not end up all of us capitalists.